Welcome to part 10 of the series on Black dolls. If you are new to this series, I encourage you to first watch the intro video tagged below for context. I'd also like to warn that if you're easily offended by discussions about our unfortunate history in regards to slavery, now would be a good time to scroll on. In her book, Racial Innocence, Performing American Childhood from Slavery to Civil Rights by Robin Bernstein, she describes racial innocence as a form of deflection, a not knowing or obliviousness that can be made politically useful. Bernstein writes that pain and the alleged ability or inability to feel it functioned in the mid-19th century as a wedge that split white and black childhood into distinct trajectories. The white, tender, vulnerable angel child co-emerged with and depended on the Nini. The Nini was defined by three properties: juvenile status, dark skin, and, crucially, the state of being comically impervious to pain. Bernstein specifically notes that she takes the Nini seriously not only because the figure abominably denigrated African Americans, but also because it hinged the category of childhood to the libel that African Americans are insensate. Childhood was defined as tender innocence, as vulnerability, and as the Nini was defined by the inability to feel or to suffer, then the Nini and the black juvenile it purported to represent was defined out of childhood. African Americans understood these stakes, and writers such as Harriet Wilson and Frederick Douglass asserted black children's ability to feel pain so as to argue, in Douglass's words, that slave children are children. Representations of black children, in contrast, were increasingly and overwhelmingly evacuated of innocence. Innocence defined 19th century childhood and not vice versa. Therefore, as popular culture purged innocence from representations of African American children, the black child was redefined as a non-child, a Nini. The Nini was an imagined, subhuman black juvenile who was typically depicted outdoors, merely accepting or even inviting violence. The word dates to the 17th century, at which time it described any child of African descent. In the 19th century, the word was used pejoratively and in reference mainly to black children in the United States and Britain, but also to Aboriginal children of the Americas, Australia, and New Zealand. The word's origins are disputed, but the term may derive from the Portuguese word pequenino, meaning a tiny child. Characteristics of the Nini include dark or sometimes jet black skin, exaggerated eyes and mouth, the action of gorging, especially on watermelon, and the state of being threatened or attacked by animals, especially alligators, geese, dogs, pigs, or tigers. Ninis often wear ragged clothes, which suggests parental neglect, and are sometimes partially or fully naked. In many depictions, a Nini's genitals or buttocks are often exposed. In some of the most degrading constructions, Ninis shit or piss in public. Of course, no individual Nini image includes all these characteristics, and some Ninis are constructed as clean, well-dressed, and engaged in domestic chores. This is especially true of Nini images that were emblazoned on kitchenware such as dish towels. Some Nini figures are non-individuated and doltish as cows, meaning not of or related to others and stupid, but others are clever as monkeys. When threatened, Nini characters might ignore danger or quake in exaggerated fear. When attacked, they might laugh or yelp, but in either case, they never experience or express pain or sustain wounds in any remotely realistic way. The Nini was a major figure in U.S. cultural history and as such must be taken seriously. Because Ninis were juvenile yet excluded from the exalted status of child, they seem not to matter. If a granite monument declares its own necessity and inevitability, then a tray card emblazoned with a Nini claimed to be ephemeral, transitory, consumable, and discardable. The Nini appeared to be, in all senses of the word, minor. That appearance of insignificance provided cover for a justification of violence against African American children.